So today we're going to approach gluing up the reel seat insert and the hardware. And over the last week or so, I've been applying coats of finish to the reel seat. Really happy with the amount of finish that I've been able to get on there. I've been using a Helmsman spray finish and looks pretty good. I've done about 6 coats and I've masked this end off because I didn't want finish to get in here and interrupt the epoxy adhesion. And as I've started to sort of plan this out, I've realized that in applying several coats of finish and setting the reel seat vertically to dry, I've created a small lip, a buildup of finish here at the bottom of the reel seat where this piece needs to fit. And now that the fit is too tight. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in here carefully and I'm going to remove. You can see the depth of our reel seat, is going to be, let's call that a 3/8 of an inch or so. So I'm going to remove this little lip of finish down here on the bottom, which will be sealed by epoxy and hopefully won't cause us an issue. I'm just going to go through and take some of that finish off. You can see I'm pulling off a fair amount of finish with each stroke of the razor blade there. It's funny when you're doing this process, it's hard to tell how much thickness you're adding to the workpiece when you're adding coats of finish. And this just goes to show you that several light coats will add up to a difference in dimension. I'm just going to take my time and go around the end and just take off whatever little material of finish has built up, and hopefully that should get me back to the correct dimension for the reel seat hardware. Just clean that up. You see quite a bit of finish built up there in the end. All right, so I've made one pass around and we're gonna see if that helps with our fit. Yeah, so I'm still pretty tight there and I can force this hardware down. And you can see, maybe you can't see, but it's created a little depression in my finish, which probably won't be that big of an issue. I think that'll be hidden once I apply this hardware in the correct position. So we're gonna give this a go. We're gonna see what happens. Worst case scenario, I ruin the reel seat and have to go back a step and turn it again or create a new reel seat insert. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think we're gonna be okay. In fact, what I might do is just look for any additional high spots and come back and take a little more finish off. It's really remarkable, you spray on a light coat of finish and it doesn't look like it's done anything, and then you repeat that several times and it really adds up. The material really adds up. So just clean that up a little bit more and see what that does for us. That's already better. We're gonna push that all the way down. So that's gonna seat pretty deep like that. And that's a nice tight fit. There's not gonna be a ton of room for epoxy in there around the perimeter. So I'm gonna apply just a really light coat of epoxy in the inside of this reel seat hardware and hope that it does its job. I think it's going to be fine. Might, in an abundance of caution, just gonna go through